right. Hello, and welcome to episode 165 of the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. I am your host, 𝗲𝗲𝗄𝗃 mother, educational leader, and of course, you know that I am an event and podcast host. Listen, we're doing something a little different. Y'all see that? Listen, this is where I need for you to be on November 8th from noon to 6. This is a sample, just a teeny sample of what you will get when you come to the 4-year podcast anniversary live show for the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. Listen, tickets are available on eventbrite.com. Make sure you grab a friend, they grab their friend, you grab your family, and you come. This is going to be a celebratory event full of vendors, full of food, full of live interviews, live entertainment. I have a live DJ Kim Blaze will be blazing the ones and twos. We're going to have a bartending service this year. I'm ramping it up, and it all happens at Catapult Lakeland. So make sure that you get your tickets today, and I want to see you there November 8th again from noon to 6 p.m. This podcast celebrates the power of the comeback. I truly believe that you can come back from anything with God, using the right resources effectively, and your willingness to do the work. All right, so listen, we are rolling right into this grand old episode 165. I wanted to say 4, but 165. It is such a blessing to be on this platform. It is such a blessing to have my special guest that I have today. I feel like I want to move closer to her.
Come on.
None other than Miss Monique Tubbs. Now, Monique Tubbs is the senior coordinator of K-12 college and career with Polk County Public Schools, where she leads district-wide initiatives to ensure every student graduates with a plan to enroll, to enlist, to employ, or explore. She is a first-generation college graduate, and she brings a heart for helping families navigate post-secondary planning and serves on national and regional boards, shaping college access. How are you, Miss Tubbs?
I am fabulous. I just need you to introduce me every single time I go somewhere. Thank you for such a warm welcome.
I'm just going to show up like, and now presenting.
And I'm here. I had Jazz introduce me, okay?
Listen, I got you. I would love to do that. Miss Ma'am, listen, you are busy. Did you know that? Yes. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you are busy, girl.
Just a little bit.
I love seeing you in action. And when I say in action, you know, Monique, I know you from your days of when you were a school counselor. And so to see your career elevate. Like she's running all of these things in the district of Polk. I love it. So listen, congratulations to you. Thank you for giving God his glory to begin with, because it's a great metamorphosis to witness. And just like your bio stated, you definitely have a heart for the work that you do. When you think about your journey, what does that make you feel like? Like when it just spontaneous, what's the first thing that feeling that you get?
I'm full. I am always reminded of my why on a daily basis.
Yes.
Some days are harder than others, because we all know some days can be really rough. But when I do look at the success and the fruits of the labor, when these events come into fruition and just the people showing up, the impact that I'm making, along with community partners and leaders beside me, I'm full. And I want to show up every single day and continue to do this work because I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, we love it. I'm going to tell you as a high school senior parent of a high school senior, we love it. We love people who love their jobs around this time of the matriculation process, trying to get them to get there. And so I just want to say, thank you for just being that bubbly light that is someone who's very, very personable, someone who's very intentional, and someone who really does that hard work for your constituents, your families that you serve. But I want to know a little bit about you on the personal side, because a lot of people see you doing the work. They see you it. But who are you, Monique? Where are you from? what did you want to be when you grew up? Like, how did you get here? Tell us all about
Where is my tea? I should have brought my tea, girl. Yes. So I am actually from the great state of Georgia.
Okay.
I am from a big town called Warner Robins, Georgia.
Okay.
I went to the Valdosta State University, and it's not that big. I'm just giving y'all that.
Oh, listen, I felt that.
You was like, okay.
I felt that.
Let's see how many people know where Warner Robins is. But I went to the Valdosta State University, and I actually went to a career fair on my campus. So how fitting is this, the work that I'm doing, that I went to a career fair and Polk County was there. And I had never heard of Polk. At first I thought it was Polk, like orange Polk. I had never heard of Polk County. But let me tell you something. When I was getting ready to graduate, I needed a job. So I was applying everywhere. Yeah. And the first place to call me back, not Atlanta, not Savannah, not Macon, not Warner Robins, not anywhere in Georgia, was 𝗪𝗁𝐻𝐶 High School. And so I went to interview a week after I graduated with my master's degree, and I got a call back and I accepted the job. And then, of course, after I accepted the job and I signed my paperwork, everywhere in Georgia called me. Columbus, Valdosta, places where I interned in college. I mean, and I'm just like, okay, God, this must be for me, because none of these people picked up the phone before I signed this paperwork, before I drove down to Polk County and signed this paperwork. Right. And I did all the paperwork, Jazz. Like, I got the apartment. It was like the Lord was like, yeah, go ahead. You don't think you're gonna stay here in Georgia, but I got a different plan. And this was in 2012. So I've been here ever since 2012. And I started out as a school-based counselor at Haines City High School.
Yeah. Why counseling?
To be honest, I thought that I wanted to go into physical therapy until I took a chemistry class my first year. And I said, absolutely not. And a part of it was too, just what was shared with me from family and friends. This would be a good job opportunity. You'll make good money. My godmother is now retired, but she was an educator and she poured into me just my entire life. And so I always had an inkling that I may be interested in education, but I told her, I said, Mom, I don't want to teach no kids. Straight up. And she said, well, it's not that bad. I said, it's not for me. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So then I decided that, okay, the medical field and all the ologies, the biologies and the chemistries weren't going to work. And I didn't do well in that class my freshman year. She said, well, let's just explore your options and you can think about education and other careers, but I'm here to support you. I took a psychology class, Jazz. Yeah. And when we started talking about the mind and people and relationships and the different theories, I was like, ooh, I like this. I mean, I love helping people. So psychology, counseling. I started talking to my advisor. I went back and was talking to my godmom and my mom, and he was like, well, that would be great. So I said, okay, I'm going to become a psychology major. I then learned the year before I graduated, I could not just have a bachelor's degree. I had to also have a master's degree. So I had to stay in school for 2 more years. Yeah. But it got sweeter because that subject area, it was subject area specific in your graduate programs. So I was able to just really get into the weeds of school counseling, and I was able to do practicums and internships and really be at the schools. And because of that, I was able to see that middle and high school was my jam. Okay. Elementary, the little...
Because I'm like, wait a minute now, because I'm full. I am full elementary. I love me some elementary.
Listen, the play therapy is great. It is, the littles are wonderful. And listen, you are elementary educators are the real MVPs. If you're watching this, thank you. Okay. Because you all really are the foundation for middle and then high, setting us up for success. Yeah. But I recognize where it wasn't a good fit for me. Yeah. But I still love the littles, but I really grew to love working with middle and high school. And ultimately high school is where I landed and I loved it. And I still do. I love working K through 12, but I noticed that middle and high is where I'm drawn to. And honestly, one of the best decisions I made was to go into school counseling. I absolutely loved it when I was school-based, and I still love it now because of the work I do with school-based counselors.
Now, when we talk about that school-based versus being a part of a district team, overseeing several teams, I'm going to first start at the school-based level and then I'm going to go back to elementary because I just want to, give kudos like you just did to all of the counselors out there, because that's a heavy workload, when we talk about the emotional side of it, but then you also have to talk about the organization side of it. And, a lot of counselors get into counseling because they want to help solve a problem. They want to help students navigate through something, but it's so many layers to the world of counseling. And ask me how I know firsthand, because when I was sitting there as an assistant principal, we lost our counselor. And we had to fill in.
Oh my goodness.
Until we found a school-based counselor, because
you have been in the trenches, in the shoes, walking around, dancing,
lacing up my boots, their tennis shoes and everything else. I was just like, oh my goodness. And I just want to shout out Miss Veronica Kirby. I don't know if she's still with the district or not, but when I say Veronica held my hand, and we did a thing together, MTSS meeting after MTSS meeting, and I found I had a well-versed appreciation, true, sincere appreciation. So when I say that I really do appreciate all of the hard work that school counselors do, I really do, because just for a little moment, that I wasn't in there doing that for like a month or anything like that. It was literally probably like 2 weeks, and I was just like, OMG.
And now you have a greater appreciation, and moving forward, working with your school counselors at your school, it's like, oh yeah, I know. And you can better support them too, right? I love it.
So tell me, you sound very, very ambitious, and I know that you are, because to move from being a school-based counselor, and now we have a huge district. When we talk about our district numbers are compared to those metropolitan cities in terms of the square footage that we have to go to meet the needs of all of our students district wide. And so tell me what made you want to, further challenge yourself and expand your reach of influence in the district. What made you want to leave school?
It was, first of all, it was hard. Let me put that out there. And I have to give a shout out to Dr. 𝗲𝗂𝗍𝗃. Because I'm gonna be very honest with you, I probably wouldn't have left, because I love my babies at 𝗲𝗄 High School. Shout out to my last class, but class of 2017. I think it was 2013 all the way to 17. Those my babies. But she shared with me the opportunity to start out first. It was a TRST, which is a teacher resource specialist trainer. And to work 6 through 12 under her at the time. She was the senior coordinator for middle and high school. And I was like, when I talked about the job opportunity, she was just like, it's definitely a great opportunity, and I think you'd be great at it. But I was like, I don't know, I don't want to leave the school. And but when she talked about how you can make a larger impact with training and helping other schools, it really set with me that, you know what, I'm gonna pray about this, because I would love to reach and teach more. I would love to pour into others and share, also while growing and learning as well. I don't know everything. I still don't, right? But I thought about it, and I said, well, if it's for me, it'll happen. But I didn't apply the first time. And a year later, the opportunity came back up again, and I was like, I'm not gonna bother 𝗲𝗂 because she probably was like, you should have applied the first time. But I think that second time around, I was like, first of all, nobody been hired for this job. And to me, it's giving it has my name on it.
That's what it sounds like to me.
And after praying about it, and I'm gonna be honest, I felt like that last year being school-based, God was just throwing me things left and right. Like, I know you want to stay here, but I have something bigger in store. You have got to listen to me. And I wasn't listening at first. I was like, but let me tell you something. I opened my ears, I opened my mind, I opened my heart, and I said, you know what? It is time. It is time. And I got that confirmation, and I submitted my application. I interviewed. I made it through the first and second round of interviews, and here we are now. I was the TRST for 6 through 12, and last year I was promoted to senior coordinator K through 12.
Listen, when they start putting those seniors and coordinators and directors at the end of your title,
we're gonna speak the director now. Come on, somebody. They say,
singing it now. Come on now. Listen, when those titles start coming, and then over this enormous district,
yes,
so does the multitude of the work that you do. And so, what was such a, I don't want to say shocker, but what was it that you were like, okay, I definitely feel more weight doing this particular thing? What area was it that just picked up expeditiously?
I'm gonna be honest. I think moving from primarily working with youth, like with students, to my peers, because these were people I was in meetings with that now I'm training. And also it is a little bit more pressure because, you know, our teenagers, they're still learning, they're more receptive. And at the time, I mean, I'm still young, but I was younger. And so I felt a little intimidated, to be honest with you, sometimes in front of my peers or in front of more seasoned counselors and professionals. And it was a little difficult at first because you want it to come off as if I was the best fit for this job, but also I'm going to be a great resource for you. I'm going to be able to help you. I do have something to contribute, and I just need you to give me a chance.
Right.
You know, Polk County is Polk County, and everybody know everybody. And I did it. And I still don't know everybody, because here I am from a whole nother state. Everybody here, I realize, is related to somebody. So I try not to talk about anybody, because somebody cousin related to somebody uncle and somebody great aunt, and absolutely not.
Right.
That wasn't me. You know, the first thing people would ask, who your people?
Right.
And I'm like, oh.
Right. I mean, that is a question they're gonna ask.
In Georgia, but you know, I have a dog.
Right.
My Yorkie count.
Right.
So, you know, that was definitely a big adjustment. And then also, of course, when in leadership, the expectation, you know, I'm not at a school building. I'm now representing the district, and that's just not during work hours. You know that, you know, wherever you go, whatever you post, whatever you say, you know, have to be very mindful, and also just to be very transparent as a woman of color, you know, just keep that in mind. It was now taken from like a 4 to a 13. I'm all the way up to level 20. Because now I'm not in a small space, in which Haines City wasn't small, but it was just one school, right? One school building, a family. And
it was one of those areas that people rarely wanted to go to, if we're being very honest. Because to come from Bartow all the way to Haines City, that was a long stretch. So
Right.
I wonder if your journey was, because we talked about leadership, my journey into leadership was fast. It was timely, but it was quick for me. You know, as soon as I got out of my leadership coursework with my master's degree, went through Aspiring Leaders, and I think I was the first person that took that leap into being on a campus as an assistant principal in my cohort. So it was fast, but it kept coming, right? And it was so different. And actually my comeback for me was birthed during that particular process, because it is just so different when you are under the umbrella of being at a school under someone versus when you're now that someone or a part of a team of people that are now those people responsible for others. And so did you have like any adversarial experiences going into leadership? Because leadership can be very difficult. It's very rewarding, but it can be very difficult also.
Thinking back, going in, I don't think I did. And I want to give a shout out because I feel like Dr. Nottage was a very huge part of my transition, and also in just keeping me motivated and ensuring I felt secure in the work I was doing. I think she also knew I struggled a little bit with the transition because I often talked about my kids, and and we still keep in contact, right? But with our students. But I think she did a really great job of pouring into me and just confirming of why I was the best fit. Even in those moments where I maybe had a little bit of self-doubt, or I felt like, well, maybe I wasn't the best for this role. She never let it slide without reminding me of my greatness. But I don't think so. I'm trying to process and think back because it's almost been like 10 years.
That's great.
Now that I'm processing it.
That's great for you to say that. Like that's true sisterhood, and then that's true. For me, I think not even just servant leadership, but transformational leadership. Because you know that I think everyone should always have a succession plan, and it's something that is just inevitable. And I feel like the measure of a leader's work is the leaders that they are able to create. And so when you're able to have someone that's right down the pipeline that is just as great as you, that and you know you had a part in that, that speaks volumes to someone's leadership, in my opinion. Like I think that's what
absolutely, and 100%. Let me tell you what's so funny. I can remember some things I was not doing, practices I didn't have that when I was school based, no one really said anything about. Something as simple as an out of office reply. And I remember she would be like, we're training all day. You don't have your out of office reply? I'm like, no, I'll get back to them. No, it's professional and it needs to happen. And you also need to have a signature. Because I'm coming, from being boots on the ground. Essentially. Yeah. And we would, check emails, and not that we weren't professional, but it's just practices and things that I didn't do that I had to transform and I had to learn, I had to be taught. And she really did a great job, I feel like, of helping me transition, because she had done it. She was a counselor as well at Ridge. And so with us both coming from the East Side, we always joked about that, but she would just always, she was always so kind and poured into me, like I said. But it's just funny thinking back to those little things, like something as small as an email reply. But guess what I'm doing now? I'm training them on those best practices. and that's because, and I tell them because I wasn't doing it. Yeah. And if you think about it, it's just respectful to parents and stakeholders to know, like, hey, I'm not available right now, but I will respond to you at my earliest convenience. Yeah. And I didn't think about it prior to.
Yeah, I love that. And it is, those simple things are things that really can leave like one of the most impactful imprints on who you are as a leader and as a professional. And so, Monique, like when I think about, just journeys that we all have, this whole podcast is just based off of the premise of celebrating, the comeback, because people see you every day in that professional garb attire. They see the smile that you have. They see the light that you have. And by the way, your skin is glowing. Okay.
Come on, somebody. I'm drinking my water and minding my business.
Your skin is glowing. Your hair is thriving. Now your hair is always tea. I'm just like, okay, come on now. We got our own Tabitha Brown right here in Polk County.
Listen, can I give you a fun fact, Jazz?
Yes.
High school superlatives, I got best hair. I did not appreciate that in high school because I wanted best smile. Now I see why I got best hair.
I'm telling you, I always, and I now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, I know for a fact that I have reached out to you about a hairstyle that you had. And I was like, who did your hair? I think you had like, you had a crochet style, Monique, that looked so natural.
Oh my gosh. It was big. I know exactly.
Oh, girl. When I opened up my computer and saw your face, and I was like, could this girl get any more like perfect? Like, just look at her hair. Like, because when I tell you I hate a crochet, But when I say whoever did your hair, just they took
Slave.
crochet to the next level that I did. When you told me it was crochet, I was like, it's what?
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. But yes, you stepped in that superlative of best hair, because you're always just so fabulous. You really are.
How are you, girl?
I really do appreciate that. And we do appreciate, honestly, because we have so much going on in the world.
Yes.
That it's enough to bring us down. That we love to see someone who's happy, who's thriving, who just seems like they have it all together. And sometimes that could give a false pretense, a false narrative of what's actually going on. Because what I've come to learn in the 4 years of doing this show, and even before then, we all go through things.
Yes.
We are all going to go through some things. And those things that we go through, telling people how we have overcome them, are just as impactful as us looking like we do when we come out of it. And so, Monique, what do you consider to be your comeback story?
Ooh, I feel like I have several.
Yeah, we all do.
I think because it took me so long to get over this one particular thing, that's what I'm gonna choose. I want to say I think it's been 3 years now. And I don't honestly, Jazz, think I've shared this like on social media. Some of the people that saw me or that were around me, of course, they know, family and friends. But I give you some insight prior to. I am also a part-time fitness instructor. I teach cardio boxing. I love lifting weights. I used to run because at one point I was extremely overweight. I was over 250 pounds and I lost over 100 pounds. And a part of that was, of course, working out and lifting weights and eating right. And so then I started also as becoming a certified fitness trainer. And about 3 years ago, now this is post-COVID, of course. So I had met my now husband and I had picked up a little weight, some happy weight,
some happy weight.
some real happy weight. But I was okay with, my size, but I tore my ACL. And now I was never an athlete growing up, right? I was like the water girl in the academia, but I was not an athlete, but I had become one, like I shared. And that broke me a little bit. I mean, it to be reliable on other people to do for me. Me, Miss Independent. I couldn't drive. I couldn't work out for a year outside of therapy and maybe like light walking after I eventually got rid of my brace. It mentally really put me in a slump. And to be very transparent, people asked me if I was okay, and I said yes. And I wasn't. And I wasn't for a couple of years because you're never the same after an ACL surgery. But because I had been overweight my entire life, I had lost a lot of weight, and then I gained weight back. And when I had surgery, couldn't do nothing. I gained more weight. I got depressed about it and sad, so I ate more. And I already love to eat anyway.
Listen, I'm right there with you.
But it really had me in a slump, and it had me in a place where I was talking so negatively about myself. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I didn't want to take pictures. I didn't want to go anywhere. Like it was bad. Now I had to go, eventually when I went back to work and things like that, I couldn't do a lot of physical activity until like after that year when I was cleared. And even after that year when they said I could go back to teaching classes, I wasn't that excited about it because I felt like, one, I can't do what I used to. I can't do all the jumping and, I'm teaching cardio boxing. Okay. I'm supposed to be a beast. And I had to modify. Like you talk about humbling, you in front of people, and it really made me feel like I no longer needed to be in that space because I didn't fit the mold of what an instructor looked like or someone that was fit because I had gained weight. And I really felt defeated. And thank God for prayer and for growth, because it has taken me a very long time to just get past it. Yes, I may be a little bit heavier. Mm-hmm. Yes, I may not be able to do all the things that I used to do, but I wake up now, Jazz, and I thank God I have mobility in my body, that I can go to the gym, because at one point for an entire year I couldn't, that I can survive, that I am mentally well and healthy. I try and love on myself more, because at one point I wasn't, and I was so down about it. And I also think about my mom. A lot of people may also not know that my mom had a stroke in 2017, and she has limited mobility on one side. So she's in a wheelchair. And I think about how selfish of me to be upset because I've gained a little weight and I can't jump. But here I can still move. I can still drive. And my mom can't. She's great. Don't get me wrong. And she's fabulous, right? But I know it gets to her sometimes, because she can't do what she used to do. She can't work. She can't get in a vehicle and go. She has to have someone help her.
Right.
And I think about a lot of times when I don't want to get up and go to the gym because it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm not only doing it for myself and my health, but I'm doing it for my mom. I'm doing it because she can't, but I can. And it has been a humbling experience. I never thought in a million years I would have to have a surgery like that. And I have a greater appreciation now for people that have, because you're a different person after. And even now I have arthritis in that knee, so sometimes it is in pain and when the weather change, but I can still get up in the morning. I can still get dressed. I can walk if I don't feel like I can do a intense workout, but I can still go. I can still show up.
Yes.
And be grateful in that. Practicing more gratitude than what I have ever in the past. I feel like I took for granted those day-to-day tasks and things that you don't even think about because you just do them automatically. I'm just so much more grateful now, and I'm in such of a better place. And I feel like this is comeback season for me.
Absolutely.
I am in a space where I am training myself to get up at 4:30 for real in the morning and work out. Whereas I was making excuses that, I have to be to work by 7:38. Okay, we'll get up a little bit earlier. Take that time in the morning for you, because the rest of the day is for everybody else. And you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I have 100% changed my mindset from what it used to be, and I'm better for it. I feel like I'm a better person. I'm better to my circle, the people around me. My poor husband. He is probably grateful, because it affects how you treat others, and the people that are closest to you, they see it more than anybody. So while everybody see me smiling and happy, when I come home, I'm like blah, So he has been a big help too. Don't get me wrong. I want to shout out to my hubby, because he has been a great listening ear, but also just a gentle reminder of giving myself grace. I'm gonna say gratitude and grace is definitely in my comeback season as well, and I'm grateful for it, because it was some dark days sitting and not being able to get up and do anything. You can only Netflix and chill for so long. And during the time when I tore my ACL, '𝗶𝘄 came out. I could not, and I love the line dance.
You couldn't.
I couldn't do it. And I didn't mention that during this time I was also planning my wedding, so I was also
that's a lot.
Yes, and also stressed that I was gonna have to be wheeled, like I was having nightmares. I'm gonna be wheeled down the aisle. I mean,
time out.
I was like,
that is a lot. That's a lot, because even someone who may not be a workout enthusiast, they could probably care less about working out. We all know that it's important for us to do, that diet and exercise, all of that, having the right mindset, all of that is, those are attributing factors to having a well-rounded life. And I would think your quality of life would be at its optimum when you have all of those things balanced. And so, Monique, I do remember when you guys, because you and 𝗂𝗃, you guys were like,
listen, and shout out to 𝗂𝗃 because
what y'all doing? Because like y'all got me enthused to do it.
Listen, we were on 10. We were working out 2 or 3 times a day. And but you also know what I realized, Jazz, and 𝗂𝗃 helps keep me grounded. Shout out to my best friend, 𝗂𝗃 Cox. She helps keep me grounded because she tells me, Mo, we're not who we were 5 and 10 years ago. And our life is not the same. Like, we're helping taking care of parents now. You're married. She has a child and a husband as well. And our jobs have changed. For me, the workload and responsibilities, I don't have the time to work out 3 times a day, know, but if I can move for 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, I have to remember it's the consistency, not the intensity. And that's with everything in life, right? So if you could just be consistent and show up, you're going to see results. It may not happen as fast as we want it, but it's going to happen in due time.
Good. That's really, really good. And I love how you said that what you took from that situation, was that you're more apt to show more gratitude, and apt to show more grace as well. And goodness grief, those are some huge takeaways from any situation, and we're able to really get those under our belt when we're able to practice those, like you said, consistently. Like, I just think that just has one with a better overall outlook on any situation, because they need it, and I will say, you have a thriving career in terms of I guess the gratitude that you're getting back from it, but also the work that you are putting out there for our kids. Like, your department is blossoming. Like, I see it like in front of my eyes, from having the college signing days, from having, the career in college fairs.
It's been a long time coming, Jazz.
Listen to me. Like, I am a parent. I am a freaking senior, parent to a senior this year. And I'm like, I need you, Monique. Lord, I need you. I need thee.
I got you, girl.
And I feel that. And I want to say thank you so much. Like the first college and career fair that we attended in his senior year.
This
happened not too long ago.
And when I got to see your baby, but he's not a baby, but he's your baby.
Listen, when I say that was amazing, and all you could see was I just saw the hard work, because I'm like, this entire place is full, and it's not just with colleges. It's not with just what you would think. Like, you guys thought outside of the box to bring everything in. And so, like I normally do on a lot of podcast episodes, I want to give you the opportunity to pop your collar. Tell me some of the wonderful things that you are doing here in this district. What have you done, Monique?
So, you mentioned, which is probably, I'm gonna say, the signature event for me. The District College and Career Fair happens every fall, and we are typically hosting around the end of August. And this year we exceeded expectation and had like almost 1,500 attendees. And to your point, a part of my work has been shifting the district from just being a college going culture to a college and career going culture, and beginning with the end in mind. So versus a student only thinking, I want to go to college, we talk about the E's, the 4 E's, and you mentioned them in the beginning. Enroll, enlist, employ, explore. So the student has 4 pathways, essentially. They may want to enroll in a 2 or 4 year institution. They may want to enlist into the military. They may want to go straight into the workforce, or exploration, which is an intentional gap year, meaning during that time, I'm saving money, I'm traveling, I may be in AmeriCorps, but I'm still going to be working on a plan towards one of the other E's. I'm not just sitting on my mama's couch eating up groceries. The plan is for every student to leave high school with an identified E.
Can I start? Can I interrupt 1 second for that last E? Because on that last E with that 𝗲𝘂𝗄, when you said that intentional year of exploration and you mentioned 𝗪𝗀𝐻, I am the supervisor for our 𝗪𝗀𝐻 staff here at my site. And so I know all about that program and how it can transform. And just a very quick success story. Our head of school right now started off as an 𝗪𝗀𝐻 in our organization, and she's the head of school now. So don't take that year of exploration for granted.
Absolutely.
It will get you where you need to go. Okay, so that's it.
I hope everyone heard that, because that is a testimony in itself. Like I love that, because some people think, well, no, don't take a gap year, because I used to be that way. But if it's intentional, if you have a plan, if you are working towards that in that year, absolutely. But I'm starting to finally see the fruits of my labor with I rebranded last year to Polk Forward. So just making our students and our families understand that we want our students to move past the stage at graduation. So moving forward to post-secondary attainment, because every student should know that they have the option to be great and they will be able to succeed. We just have to help them get there, and we have to help them decide, number one, once they have decided on their path, help them with that route, right? So if that is explore, if that is employ, we need to identify that sooner than senior year, because that way we can truly direct what their route is going to be, because they may want to enroll, right? But if we see by junior year, they may not have the test scores, or they may not have the GPA. Okay, we may have to consider they go to a 2-year school and transfer. They can still get there. They just may have to take a detour to a 2-year institution and then transfer. We're trying to really talk more about those opportunities for students, like the 2+2 or 2x2 schools, because students don't realize you can go to a state university system school like USF, UCF, FAMU, but you have to meet their requirements. And if you don't, we can help get you there with a little more work. And that route may look different. So that's probably been the biggest shift in honestly nationwide, but when we're talking locally and being career ready and future ready versus just going to college, because students need to understand their pathway. That could lead them to technical school versus going to college, depending on what their interests are. So that is a part of my work, essentially helping to build a college and career going culture, but also infusing it into the schools. And I've truly enjoyed working with the middle schools, especially because I don't think they realize elementary, middle, y'all are really the GOATs. Like we can't do this without you. And so I've been enjoying going in and assisting with them getting prepped to use Zello, which is our college and career readiness platform, students to do interest inventories and skills assessments to figure out what their interests are, right? It's important for them to just explore and learn and not start in high school. So that's been a big part of my work, especially the last 2 or 3 years with shifting that mindset. And now that I've rebranded, I got a Facebook page last year. At first I was not on board. I have managed a Facebook page for another organization before. That is a whole nother job.
It's some work. Listen, it's some work.
And it is very much so like another job. So I want to put out there, I'm gonna pop my collar, because if you haven't already, make sure you follow PCPS College and Career on Facebook. That's all I have right now, because that's all I can manage right now. Okay. But, we may look at an Instagram later, but it has been a game changer with pushing information to families. And for me, I am grateful because we share a lot of things internally. I share and send to the counselors, but it has been great to put things out for the community. And now organizations are resharing, people are resharing, spreading the word to their networks. So there's even greater reach beyond just our internal connections within the school district and with our school counselors and success coaches and things like that. So I have actually really enjoyed having a Facebook page. And I think now I'm celebrating a year. So good. We both got some celebrations here.
Yes. I love that. And so I want to take this time because I know you do a multitude of things. I want people to get to know the way that you're working. So make sure you do follow her on their page on social media. All right. And so if you were my Facebook friend, you know that I shared it with you and a lot of you did like it. So thank you for doing that. We got to make sure that we spread the word.
Shout out to Jazz because I've been getting notifications left and right, baby.
Well, you are welcome. You are definitely welcome with that because you do something that I don't want to say the average parent can't do because I know that I can do this, but it's time. It's the time. And it is, it is definitely a strategic measure that you have to start. I would say don't even start it no later than middle school. Like I would say start a binder, a college and career readiness binder when your child enters 6th grade. That just would be my advice. Our binder in my household has been living in conversation and in our brains and in my mind. Like I've seen the pages, but I just started the binder. I would say don't do that. I would say don't start on that, okay? Because I take things. We've talked to the people, but having a succinct plan that is involving, and I'm gonna piggyback off of Tabitha Brown here, is okay to not just have a plan A.
Come on, somebody.
It's okay to have a plan B,
C, and D.
Let's go. All right. So let's go through all the avenues. So, Monique, for the last segment of this episode, I want to open the floor up to a Q&A. So I received some questions from people, and then I'm going to throw some of my questions in there as well. And I want you to give advice to the people. And so I want you to just start off in general.
Okay.
I am a student who is definitely interested in going to a state college and even possibly out of state. When should I start preparing and how should I prepare?
You should start yesterday, meaning it's never too early. We say middle school, but honestly, elementary even, right? Students are now able to take high school level courses in middle school. So honestly, taking it seriously and understanding what that means and how that affects your grade. And students at that age, a lot of times they may academically be prepared, but they may not be as mature. So parents, making sure you're having conversations with your students and understanding if they're taking those accelerated courses that are high school credit, that they know what that means, what the grade means, wanting to make an A or a B versus a C, and doing their very best in that. So starting as early as possible with having conversations with your students, but with also having the students to be exposed. You can never start early enough with taking them to college fairs, with taking them on college campuses, getting them in the mix. So if I'm a student and I am in middle school and I'm talking about being interested in going to college, take them on a college visit. We have several right here in our backyard, Polk State, Southeastern, just to get that exposure for them to understand, but also prep them. You have resources at the school, like your school counselor. You can ask them for resources as well. I mentioned Zello, so to do interest inventory to see their interest, but it's never too early to have these conversations, and to expose your students will be key.
Awesome. So if I have a high school, a student who's about to go to high school from middle school, what does this student need to do? And more so in terms of the parent knowing what the high school requirements are, so either they can fast track it or they can keep them on schedule.
I recommend meeting with your school counselor because, one, the school counselor would need to see your student's academic record. Did they take any high school level courses in middle school? What are their interests? Because if they're in a pre-academy or wanting to be in a academy at the high school, making sure they're on track. So I would personally recommend, before the end of the 8th grade year, scheduling a meeting before the counselors get off, because typically they're 11 months, some may be 10, some may be 12. But I think if you could maybe schedule an appointment just to have a better understanding. Now, there are resources online, but if you are one that wants to have a conversation, meeting with the counselor would be my best recommendation, but also having grace because it is a crazy time of the year, the end of year. So if they say, I can't meet until June. Have some grace with that, but I wouldn't put it off, or meeting at the top of high school, that freshman year. The reason why I say the end is because, they're working on schedules and finalizing things, or at the beginning, because you don't want it to be November and maybe there needed to be a schedule change, or, they're pretty awesome at catching things, like if a student's taking a class, but if your student has a specific interest, that needs to be communicated ahead of time, right? So I would 100% know who your school counselor is. Sit in the office with them if you can schedule an appointment at the end of year or the beginning of year. And the biggest part is staying in contact.
Yeah.
Do not go meet the counselor one time and expect them to remember your child. I know that's your baby and they are special to you, but you have one and they have thousands, and they will remember your child if, one, you stay in contact with them, but also your student. Put some responsibility on your student to make sure, one, you should know who your counselor is. It's not Miss, because I know some students say Miss. Is it Miss Jazz? Is it Miss Monique?
Right.
And make sure they're learning more about your student. When the counselor is more engaged, they know how to better help and assist and share opportunities. So the biggest takeaway from that piece, communication, not just the parent, but also the student, and visibility, being present.
Yeah. How often, when can my students start taking the SAT and ACT tests? And are those the only tests that schools look at?
So I'm going to recommend that they take the PSAT serious, which all 10th graders take it. And that pre-SAT kind of gives them an idea of what the SAT is like. And then in the junior year, it's recommended that students sit for SAT and ACT to see what both tests are like. That way they also have test scores, and they would know better when to retest in maybe April or May or even June of that summer. Because ideally, going into senior year, you don't want to be sitting for tests for the first time if you can. You want to try and take it prior to. And there are things called fee waivers, to where the student wouldn't have to pay to take the test if they're eligible. And again, that's a conversation for the school counselor. Some schools are test optional. Now that was as a result of COVID. Some don't look at the SAT or the ACT, and we now have the CLT, classical learning test. But now our state university systems, or the Big 12 here in Florida, they do all look at testing. They do require test scores. So you don't want to just omit not sitting for an exam. I would just recommend that timeline and prepping for the test.
Yeah.
You don't want to just sign up and show up and wing it. That's not the type of party that you should be going for. ACT has some resources on their website. SAT has Khan Academy, and SAT word of the day and question of the day. And if you on social media, follow these pages. Follow College Board, follow ACT Student, Big Future. Because students that are registered under College Board, they automatically have what's called a Big Future account, which is the college and career platform. And let me tell you something. Let me give y'all some tea, okay? Your student can earn money from logging in and doing activities and doing things towards their goals in Big Future. They can get scholarships. They give out scholarships, $500 a month, just for students going in and taking care of different tasks towards goals. And again, your counselor can talk more about that. We actually had a student win the $40,000 prize from Mulberry High School last year.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Basically, when the student completes tasks, they get into a drawing. And so every time they do something like complete your FAFSA, or if you take a SAT, or if you whatever they check off, and some of them are really small tasks, it's just helping them work towards their goal. And they're putting the drawing. Well, we had somebody to win the $40,000 at Mulberry.
That is amazing.
You never know, right? You just never know.
You have to. And so, because listen, I'm in a parent group in this the parents of seniors in the class of 2026, and it's like it's a nationwide group, and I'm just like, it's like this. The information goes like this all day. It can
be overwhelming.
I'm just like, from them giving ideas to the graduation party, to graduation favors, to if it's their first day of senior year, what can you do to commemorate it? Because you remember at the end, you're going to want, and I'm just on there like all day looking at it like, oh my gosh, like you guys have time. I can tell you have to be like, what are you doing? Like, how can you do all of this? But it is so beneficial because like when they're saying, okay, my child is getting ready for the SAT, what advice can you give, or what platform have you used? Like I found a test prep company by some of the feedback that I got off of that site. And so I'm just like, like you're saying, like use your resources because they are there in abundance, and it can get overwhelming, right? And so let's talk about it being overwhelming. What do you say to students who have a sense of it feeling overwhelming if they are seniors and they have not started?
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And realize you have support. I'm going to just advise you to talk it out. Yeah. You can't hold all of that in. You can't compare yourself to people you see in your class or in the community, because you can be great as well, but you need some support. So first and foremost, everyone's situation is different at home. Some people have supportive families and community partners and leaders and support systems, and some don't. And so I love that my school counselors, they try their best to do a good job of letting students know they are support for them. But they can get overwhelmed as well because there's so many students. So I say to students, you may not always be able to reach your counselor right away. Let's say if you want an appointment today, right now, that's why I need you to be calm, take a deep breath, schedule your appointment, and come with questions. And even if you don't have questions, come with an open mind and an open heart to receive and be willing to. You didn't wake up knowing and understanding how to apply to a college. No question is a bad question, right? But the question that doesn't get asked, that's a problem. So again, I say to those students that haven't started, it is September. You have time. Make the time. Take the time.
Yes.
No one's supporting you at home. Someone at that school will support you. If it's not your school counselor, find that teacher, find that custodian, find that librarian. Who is your person? Who is your champion?
Yeah.
Because they can help you and they will help you. Even if that's, I don't really know how to do it, but let me direct you to somebody that can. Okay. Yeah. Don't give up, but communicate, talk it out, talk to your people at school who can help you. Your parents, your guardian, whomever. You can't do this on your own. Don't try to. It gets too overwhelming. And don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Absolutely.
If you want this, seek it. Be persistent. If the counselor doesn't answer an email, follow up respectfully. If they don't answer a call, or however you're trying to contact, or if it's an institution, let's say if you've already applied, don't just sit on it.
Yeah.
Follow up. Right. And can I say to this, make sure you have a professional email. Okay. 𝗶𝘁 and 𝗃𝗃 and whoever at 19something.com and all the hashtags. First dot last name at Gmail at, they still using Yahoo at. Now, I know not AOL, but
Monique, let me tell you something. I still have my AOL account and I'm proud of it. Okay. She said, I know not AOL. Yes.
But the reason why I say have a professional email is because once they graduate, because they're going to graduate and go do great things, they're not going to have that My Polk Schools email.
Absolutely.
And also, whether they're applying to college or to a job or scholarship opportunities, sometimes the Polk emails may block those third parties, and it's just easier to streamline it to an email address that they're going to use for their professional emails until they get, if they're going to college, until they get their college email. So that is just another tidbit and recommendation.
That's a great piece of advice. And honestly, it's sentimental for me, which is why I still have my AOL account, because that AOL account was created specifically for me to start applying to colleges. Like, it made me feel like I remember creating it in the high school library, to be quite honest with you. And I was like, that's all I had to do. Mail. Like, I got an AOL account. Like, that's like, so I am dating myself, but it's like, it's so nostalgic to me. I still use it today, but I do have Gmail accounts too. Okay. But yes, I do have my AOL.
There is no, listen, fun fact. My email used to be 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏478 at yahoo.com. So I had to switch it up and get me a professional Gmail, but I still have that Gmail from college for those same reasons.
Awesome.
I don't want to give it up because it does have some dated information and it is nostalgic.
Yeah. Let me give you some something that I was so happy about, and then we'll talk about like the career path in terms of if we're not going to college, we're going to a trade. We're going to do something that will give us the skills for a trade. I went into a high school last year during the Great American Teach-In, which is one of my favorite events of all time to ever orchestrate. But then now I get the opportunity to be one of the speakers when people ask me to come in. And so I do. And I love it. And one of the things that I do, I make a point of whatever class I go in, I make a point to talk to each student individually.
And the
question that I ask them is, I ask them, so what is it that you want to do? And even the students who say that they don't know what they want to do, I will ask them, give me 3 things. I want you to give me something that's like from your heart, passion, something that you like that you know will make you money. And then something that solves a problem that you like to do.
Yes.
And so I just go from each student. And then by the time I get to the last student, I can always go back to that first student. And that's how I start my conversations with them. Because when Liam becomes the owner of his mechanic shop, because I know Liam said he loves to be a mechanic, but we're thinking business here. So I know you love it. So let's think of expansion, because eventually you want to own it. I'll just engage them into what they're already going to be.
Yes.
And that is how, like, even to this day, like, they are still like looking at, like, searching me on IG, because I tell them, like, talk to me, like, you can reach back out to me, like, you're not my student. So I will definitely, I don't mind being in contact with you, but I love having those conversations. Like, I met a student who was a high school student and he was already working like in the real estate field.
That's amazing.
Like, what do you do? And like, cause like one of his uncles like owns a construction company and his aunt is a realtor, and he is just like boots on the ground. And I'm looking at this kid like,
wow,
I wish I had that when I was your age. But and I'm looking at them and I'm like, another piece of adulthood is you got to network. So you would be crazy to not, you're sitting in this class together and it really truly feels like the Breakfast Club before they became together. I'm like, you guys network with her. I said, and we would just point, who could you connect with later on in the future? Because when y'all start having these reunions, or when you start, if you say you want to be in this small town and you don't want to grow, then you're going to see one another. So y'all need to start forming little network pods now and see how you take on the world. But so when you say that you love like middle school and high schoolers, for me, it was either elementary or I'm going to high school. But that in between, I cannot.
The middle, there's so
like, that's where I'm at right now. At middle school. So it is totally different. But I like that conversation, and I like to hear. I really love to talk to kids who don't know what they want to do. Because Monique, I hope when they talk to me, it makes me feel the way that you make me feel when I'm talking to you, like even about my son or any student, because you have that conversation where you sound so hopeful, and it's like you can. But this is what you have to do. Let's get started now. And I love it, because after a few conversations, I know what you're going to say. That needs to be done tomorrow.
Yeah, like, I'm not.
Make sure you do that tomorrow.
Just go ahead and do it tomorrow.
And I love that.
Deadline.
It's the accountability.
Set account. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If you're watching this and you are a middle or a high school student, you aren't using a calendar or reminders on your phone. Let me tell you some game changer. You might not want to be old school and get you a paper planner. I mean, a notebook, but use that to your advantage, because it's so much going on. When you have assignments and projects due, set a reminder, right? You have meetings, set a reminder, and give yourself a deadline before the deadline. So you're not waiting to the last minute, right? You do not want to procrastinate. That is not your friend. Right. You're going to miss something. You're not going to be able to show who you are and be your best self if you rushing. So go ahead and get it done. Go ahead and get it, because you never know what can happen. If you put it off, child, what if you don't have no internet to turn your assignment in? You are out of luck.
What you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. This question, I love this question. This is stating that I know that my child is not going to attend a 4-year college or university. They are headed in the direction of a trade. How can I prepare him for what's to come?
Again, I'm gonna say exposure. I'm gonna highlight Zello again. It's 𝗡𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃. For all students that are in Polk County Public Schools, and some of our charter schools do have a connection. I'm talking about Polk County Public Schools though. It's in ClassLink, and the icon is white and green. I'm telling you all this because I want y'all to use it. Okay.
Yes.
Let the students start exploring to understand what their options are. They get to kind of do skills assessments and personality assessments, and it will show them various jobs. Like if they say they're good with their hands, if they're good with, if they like technology, they like to build things. But then take advantage of our two tech schools that are right in our backyard, Travis and Ridge. When I tell you they have so many great programs, I can't sit here and list them all. But they have the information on their website, but they also host open house and preview days. And this is open to anyone. So do not think just because you have a middle school student that you can't take them either to an open house or schedule a visit. If you know your student is interested in welding, then why not take them to see what that program looks like? Why not have a discussion to know what the expectations are in middle school to get into that program? And what the opportunities are for that student. I have students that are linemen that make way more money than me. Shout out to one of my friends at UTI, Randy. He is one of the admissions counselors. He says Monique skills pays the bills, and he ain't never lied.
I love that.
Pays the bills, and they do. And let me tell you something, we're gonna always need people in the trades. I don't know about you, but I don't know how to change my oil. I hope to God I don't get a flat tire and my husband can't come save me. And anything that break in this house will help us, because I can, the toilets, all of that. Like, think about the skills, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. I need help with somebody come fix my refrigerators right now, please. Please.
So I say to that parent, lean in. Lean in, support your student, because college may not be the path for them, but they need to still understand what their path looks like, right? They're still going to need some form of education. They're still going to have experience. But what does that look like? If you can't tell, have someone in the field tell them. Who better? And why not have them show them, going to physically see and talk and touch. And sometimes they have it to where the students can participate in different activities to get that true exposure hands-on. So,
if I may, I want to close out with not a futuristic question, not per se, because it's not like it's something that hasn't been created before, but in your wheelhouse of thought, because I know that you're thinking very innovatively, what is it that you would like to bring to Polk if you had your wishes of all wishes that's not here yet, but you're like, it's going to happen soon? I can see it coming in my department. I can see it.
Man, I don't know if I want to say it because I'm thinking it.
Okay.
I kind of want to keep it in my back pocket if that's okay. But I will say I want to stronger focus on careers and the trades and also the military. And I say that because I want students to truly see their options and understand their options and have more exposure. And while my college and career fair has grown and expanded, I think I want more opportunities too for workshops, for conversations.
That would be great.
While the fair is phenomenal, you saw it. It's a huge setting. It's a lot of energy. And for some students, they may shrink in that setting. So I would like to see more workshops and interactive opportunities for students to connect with business partners, community leaders, organizations, still colleges, right? Because I'm never going to downplay getting the education and going out before your institution, baby.
Absolutely.
But I want to keep it in my back pocket.
That's fine. Absolutely fine.
Okay.
That is fine. I just personally, just speaking, when I made the post of us going to the first college and career expo, tell me if I'm saying it right. Is it the fair, the college and career fair?
Expo, career fair, college and career fair,
That was at Florida Southern. Just the whole experience there. Just speaking from my son, because my son is typically an introvert until he's very comfortable with you. And I had been talking about this college fair for the longest, and he's been immersed in college fairs since he was in elementary school.
Right.
Because actually what I do now, I used to do with a group in the community, and we used to always expose them to different things, colleges. We took college tours out the yin yang, so I know he knows these things.
Right.
With Mr. Jeffrey, we're always going on college with him. It's like we're in it, right? And I said, but now, Xavier, it's your time.
Yes.
It's more serious now
because now
it's happening. Mm-hmm. And I was giving him tips, and when we first got there, we saw you, and I was like, I'm introducing you to her because she's someone that you need to know. Like, this is how networking happens. Mm-hmm. Introduce yourself, eye contact, all of that. And he surprised me so much, and I was so enthralled in his conversation with counselors, and I was watching him like reset himself. Like, he was taking deep breaths, and he was just like, okay, boom. And I was like,
I got this, Mom. I got
this. I'm like, he's doing it. I'm watching him ride his bicycle without training wheels, and I'm just like, he's doing it. He's doing it.
And I bet you were sitting there nervous but excited all at the same time, but he did. Yes. And think about it. What if you didn't show up to give him that opportunity? And the beauty of that is too, I remember seeing him networking, going around and talking, and I feel like got even more comfortable.
Yeah, because he left me. he left me to go talk, and I was like, because that's what we have to do for our kids.
Yes.
So
and I want to say real quick, Jazz, I want to give a shout out because if anybody's watching from the exhibitor side of the fair, thank you because you showed up and you made it happen. And thank you for your patience with our students and our families, because this is overwhelming. So it's also good to have good relationships. You talked about networking and partnerships. Thank y'all, because I know that was probably overwhelming for them too, with so many people, even though they do it all the time. But I appreciated the feedback I got from families like you with how they felt the admissions recruiters and employers poured into their students and to them.
Yeah. And definitely with that, because they really did send some really good people, and even the people that were driving us around at at Florida Southern, they were engaging with the kids. Like, so what did you think about it? Like, so what are your plans? What do you want to do?
Awesome.
I love that. It was a whole conversation from start to finish. So you guys did an amazing job.
I'm gonna shout out Florida Southern College because that was their students from their different programs like the orientation and ambassadors. Joe Madigan and all my people from Florida Southern, they host us and they do a great job helping facilitate, and so do their students. So thank y'all.
Yes, I love Florida Southern. Like they really do that.
Good people.
All right. And so Monique, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for giving up your time. This lady is busy. Y'all think I'm busy?
Listen, I'm trying to keep up, but
know her.
I do want to do a quick shameless plug, if you don't mind.
Because I was going to definitely afford you that. So please.
Yes. So for those of you that are watching, which I know is a ton of you because it's Jazz, please make sure, one, you're following the Facebook page, PCPS College and Career. There's so many resources I share on that page, but also events. And there are a few events coming up that I don't want you to miss. So actually happening now every week for the next 2 weeks will be College 101 sessions. And you'll see that information on the Facebook page. It's going to be on each Tuesday. So next Tuesday, the 16th, and then also on the 23rd. You'll be able to attend those sessions, and that's for any grade level to get information about planning ahead, understanding your pathway, financial aid. So the sessions are broken up into segments that are usually just about an hour, and we have Q&A live as well. A couple other things happening, and that's with Florida Shines. So I'm working in partnership with Florida Shines and Florida College Access Network for that. But from the district standpoint, if you are a senior, a high school senior, you need to be preparing for FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. Okay. The first step is to create an FSA ID. There will be a webinar on September the 30th at 6 p.m. My girl from Miss Mann from Florida Poly, the director of financial aid, we are going to walk through how to complete your FSA ID, which is the first step. So we're doing it in bite-sized pieces, right? We can't start the FAFSA till after October 1, but you first have to have that FSA ID. So I need a parent and I need a student to join us on the webinar, and we're going to walk through step by step how to do that, right? Now, October is coming. So you have FAFSA. You're also in the heat of college application. Don't worry, we got you, because every Saturday in October, there will be Common Appalooza. And what that is just an opportunity to come every Saturday from 9 to 12, and we have different locations around the county for you to get help with Common App. If you're using the Black Common College app, I might be saying that wrong. I get the Black College Common App to get assistance with FAFSA, to get assistance with Florida Financial Aid Application, FFAA, which is for Bright Futures and other state scholarships and grants. That is going to be 4 opportunities. And if you want to come to all 4, you can. Okay, you most certainly can. But you do have to pre-register. So we have an opportunity to kind of prep before, because we're going to provide some snacks, and we want to have enough staff on deck. So the first Saturday, which is October the 4th, is going to be Polk State Winter Haven. The second Saturday is going to be at Florida Polytech's campus. The third Saturday is going to be at Weber. And then the fourth Saturday is going to be at Ridge Technical College. And all of our post-secondary institutions, including Kaiser, will be providing support with FAFSA, as well as the Common App and all the other applications for college application and FAFSA. And some of our school counselors, our Rockstar school counselors and college and career coordinators will be on deck as well. But we need you guys there. So start with the FSA ID on September 30th virtually, and then you can come and get hands-on assistance with all those other things throughout October. I'm going to stop there because I know that was a lot, but I have so many other programs that I'm going to be hosting. One more I want to shout out is going to be October 23rd. It's a virtual session that's going to talk about local scholarships. So Polk Education Foundation, Silver Garland, and then we'll also talk about some local scholarships that can be found on Zello, our college and career readiness platform. So that's October 23rd, and that's virtual. So September 30th is virtual for FSA ID. All of October, you can pop in as many as you want. There ain't no fee. Just come, show up. And then the virtual event on October 23rd is going to take place to learn more about scholarship opportunities.
Listen, I'm at every single one of them. You know that? Okay. And this is how I'm going to stay connected to this Facebook page right here. We're going to like, we're going to follow, and we're going to share.
Oh, wait. We got one edit. We got one edit. PS, because I know everybody watching this.
Yes, they are. Thank you for that. Yep. I think something deleted my S.
Yeah, because it was there. It was there.
What I did. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Let's
and make sure it's and PCPS college. And
what am I doing? I think that this likes to just change things.
That's okay. It's keeping us on our toes, Jazz. Keeping us on
keeping us on our toes. What we doing? So definitely follow Polk County Public Schools College and Career on Facebook, on their Facebook page. When you get there, here's what I want you to do. Like when you go there and you follow it, there are 3 dots that are at like the middle part, at the very top to the top right. Look for 3 dots. Click the 3 dots and just hit that button that says invite all friends.
There we
and
go.
Once you do that, the invite will go out and your friends will start to get it too. And so, listen, we senior parents have got to stick together. All right, we got to stick together. And so sharing is caring. I know this woman works very hard for a fact, her and her team, her department, to get this information out. So let's make sure that we continue to spread it and we use it. We got to use it.
That part. Show up.
Yes. Monique, thank you so much for being my special guest for episode 165 of the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. Make sure that you are following, you're liking, and you are subscribing on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and all of your podcast platforms. We will be live and we will be thriving on November 8th from noon to 6 p.m. at Catapult Lakeland for my 4-year podcast anniversary live show. So come out, and witness this award-winning podcast for yourself with live interviews. We have 3 panels going on, and throughout the day, we will have vendors, food, drinks, entertainment, a live DJ. We're going to do some crowd karaoke. I love doing it. It's celebratory, and we are all there for the power of the comeback. So I want to see you there. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com. I cannot wait to see you. Monique, we're going to tap into that Facebook page, and we're going to make sure all of our high school kids, our middle school kids, and our elementary babies, even the preschool ones, we're going to read them a bedtime story about my trip to college. All right? We're going to make sure they're all ready. Okay?
And we also going to make sure we show up for you on November the 8th, baby, because I know it's going to be the bomb.com #awesome. So I'm super excited for you.
I'm getting excited too. All right, Monique, thank you so much. I know you are busy. You are booked. You're busy, and you are a highly sought out woman. So, and I get it. And so just know from me to you that you've never not appeared to be a beautiful woman inside and out. And so you have people watching you, as I know people tell you, you have people watching you that you don't even know are watching you, and they are being inspired. And so continue to be the incredible woman that God has called you to be. Continue to use the right resources effectively, and you definitely continue to put in the work consistently like you do. And I know you will continue to make comeback after comeback after comeback after comeback. So I will see you later and see you soon. And thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.